That's real. That's real. Now, this one of my homies who legit, when it comes to firearms, something that black people need in the community. We need to learn more about firearms. We need to learn about safety. We need to be smart about it.
Today we doing handguns.
Okay.
Right?
All right. Just
maybe
handgun.
the next one we can break down the AR.
I got my everyday to carry with me today.
Safe Clear, Smith&Wesson SD9. Nice everyday carry, beginner gun. If you're looking for an intro, it's a nice one to start with. If you're an expert, it's a great one to start with. Not really my size, okay. Preferably I'm of smaller stature, but solid gun. And we're just gonna keep it simple today. Break it down, clean it. The basics is what you need. As you can see, again, firearm is safe, clear. So with this particular model, it's pretty much built like the Glock. So what you have to do to break it down is you want to cock the firearm, squeeze the trigger. My technique, I have to use my palm. You only want to push the slide back maybe 1/4 inch. You got 2 tabs on the side of your firearm. You have to push both of these down. I recommend your thumb and your index. Then you can release, push from the back, come straight off. You got your internals, you got your lower or your frame. You got your upper, which consists of your guide rod, barrel, and some other internals you don't have to take out. You can clean the surface, but you want to put that in the camera. Purpose for this video.
No cap.
All right. Typically what I do is crack open a 6-pack, find you a good lube. This is a popular one. This one I got from I'm not even gonna say the pawn shop because they did me dirty. But Claw is the product. It's a lube, cleaner, all-weather, lubricant, whatever you need it to be. Probably my 10th can of this stuff. Okay. I use it for all my firearms. So as you saw, I just sprayed the inside of your slide of your firearm. I like to spray this stuff on, let it sit. I spray it all over my barrel. And no, I'm not a professional. I do what works for me. I do what works for the average homeowner who has some form of self-defense. Spray the guide rod. And I lightly spray the inside. You don't want the internals too wet. But all the important pieces, I'm not going to break it down. If you have enough sense, you can look in there and see what may be important. To be honest with you, dog, I usually just crack open a 6-pack.
Right now?
Yeah.
Oh, in the middle of this?
Yeah, in the middle. Because I let this sit. I let this sit.
How long does this sit?
Depends on what you're doing that night.
Okay.
Usually if a particular person has some stuff laid out, okay, you don't want to let it sit for a minute because you got to clean everything.
Okay.
I typically clean everything after a gun range visit, or visits depending on the firearm. Okay. Or for everyday carry, maybe once every 2 weeks. Because if you take a look at your firearm, if you carry it every day, there's a lot of lint, a lot of buildup, a lot of stuff in there that you don't want in there. And if you need it for a self-defense moment, you don't want it to jam them. Sometimes I'll just pull mine out, break it down, blow the lint out of it, keep it moving. It's a Glock. I know what it's going to do. Yeah. I know it's going to be reliable unless... Very rare that it would be unreliable. Same for the Smith & Wesson. And a majority of either model as well. So I'm gonna let that sit. I got some old toothbrushes I use.
That's just to scrub. Yeah, does it matter when you start scrubbing or you just?
Nah, you want to get everywhere, get in between. You can see it lifting off.
Yeah, that should look new now. Should look new as hell.
Lifting off. And like I said, man, this is basic stuff people need to know. It ain't about getting a stick or getting a glizzy or whatever the hell y'all call it, man. I got this from my family. I put my loved ones on so they can protect themselves. And as you all know, living in this fucked up world,
yeah, living in the
you gotta have the best eyes. So brushes are hard or soft.
Okay.
Dollar store, bro. Dollar store, get the pack of like 12 and just build you a little kit. You can get the lube anywhere. But if it does the trick and it's something made locally and veteran owned,
all weather too. Okay.
Yeah, it hadn't failed me, man. I use it all the time. And each can maybe last me 3 months.
It even gets in here.
Yeah, you gotta get crevices. You gotta think, man. A tool is a tool. Whether you got a high point, nobody I know got a high point.
But I started,
and that's okay. And that's okay. But that.
And every street nigga might have touched the high point though.
But here's the thing about the high point: it's a tool. It's a cheap tool. But if you take care of your tools should run how they should.
See, I think niggas in the hood or like niggas is used to their high point jamming because it's already used. It probably ain't clean. The person who had it, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
dump.
You know what I'm saying? So I get it.
My son watched me clean guns. And gun safety is very important. Everybody who got children out there, lock your shit up, put it where it's supposed to go. Because that type of shit is completely unnecessary.
Yes, it is.
To carry with one in the head. A lot of people out here do it. They do it to. I don't know. I don't think they as ready as they ready.
That's why they. No, I mean, you say you making a habit. That's muscle memory. But niggas is doing that shit because that 1 second to save your life.
Man. But here's the thing. That comes with a duty and a responsibility as well. Because I had to get in the habit of walking in the house. My son, he's walking. I had to get in the habit of walking in the house. Because before kids, it was on the counter. Okay. My wife and I know what it is. We know what to do with it. And it's where we need it when we need it. Okay. So, but when you got kids involved, man, that's like... I had to come in the house, get used to unloading or putting it in its safe place until I needed it the next morning. That was pretty hard to do. But if you're willing to spend the money on different security devices, quick access, easy access, key and lock, whatever you get, just get something.
That's what I was going to ask you. How you feel about gun safes? How do you feel about guns sitting in safes?
When I get to a point in life where I can get one of them
big safes,
$8,000 to $10,000 ones that you got to bolt to the floor and pay some folks to carry it in the house and upstairs. Yeah. Most definitely. When I get to a point where I can get a safe room, a little James Bond joint, and they all on the wall, I'm cool with that too. But I'm all for it. If whatever's your budget, just try to find something or at least save up for something. Mm-hmm. Until you get to that point. You can get a $100 handgun case, safety case.
The little box.
Yeah, the little box. Yeah, Academy got somewhere. I remember I got my first safe. You just got to put it together yourself, and it does the job. I can't say somebody, if they wanted to come in there and walk out with it, barrel's pretty easy. They ain't got too many crevices, cracks. Now, fortunately for us, the type of guns we have, they're easy to break down, which is something I consider when you buy one. It's for the first time buyers. You got some shit that break down into pieces,
and then you be sitting there like,
yeah. Nah, I don't want that. Or some folks be sitting in there like, yep, like a puzzle. And once you clean everything, like all that there, you can show them that. I'm gonna try to get that. That's the hard part to clean though.
Cause what would you need something inside that motherfucker?
Nah, just on this back part here of the slide. Okay. The feed ramp. Mm-hmm. That's where the bullet slides up into. Okay. It's real black.
You can see that. That
part is hard to clean, but if you get like a sometimes steel wool, I don't know how people feel about that. You got an AK. You can clean that when, hell, I don't know, maybe a couple Christmases. They pretty durable, pretty reliable.
Damn, for real?
Yeah. So when'd you get this Smith & Wesson? I'm gonna interview you.
This was purchased COVID. Right before COVID hit. So this might be in the month that it was purchased. This month. Stoddards.
I like Stoddards. They
nice.
On some James Bond
but they be blue. That's what I'm saying.
You gotta be on that vibe. You gotta go a briefcase and a 3-piece.
Even the way they make you do the gun range.
But the gun range is fire.
But the way
compared to going to some of these places,
they give you a dummy bullet, and they make you load it and unload load it and unload it.
But ask me why.
Why?
Because a lot of people come there don't know what they're doing. Don't know what they're doing, and it's a liability. And a lot of people, think about it. When you fill out their paperwork, they don't ask you face to face or before. They didn't ask you face to face or tell you to come show you how to operate a firearm. They let you in if you check that box. Yeah. Some of them might ask you, you guys need anybody to go in? And what a lot of these macho motherfuckers doing, excuse my language. No, I'm good. I went to the gun range on my lunch break one day because I'm about that shit. Went on my lunch break and this dude was in there. I guess he had a young lady on a date. And he in there loading ammunition backwards.
You're lying.
And it was a Glock 44, the 22. Loading it backwards. And trying to figure out why the gun don't shoot. So the people up front, I'm not going to name the establishment, they wasn't paying any attention. So I walk over there. I'm not trying to step on the young fella. You know, I don't want nothing to do with you or your girl. You know, I'm just like, hey, ain't nobody finna die in here. First off, put that down. You loading it backwards. And that's how you load it. I said, you ever been in here before? You know, he in front of a young lady, macho. Yeah, man, yeah. This the new Glock, though. I just didn't. I said, they all load the same.
He said that's the
they
new Glock.
They all load the same. I said, me and my boy, when I said, we got to go, bro, because I feel like it's going to be an incident in here. I walked out there, told them, dude, I said, look, I don't know what y'all got going on, but your boy in there loading ammunition backwards, people taking selfies. I'm like, I got to go. I would ask for my money back. Nah, man, I fuck with them boys there, but I'm just like, tighten the fuck up.
Yeah.
This owner they're known because somebody gun went off in the gun range on the floor. Full house.
Damn.
Yeah. And it's on the internet. Y'all gotta do your research.
You gotta do your research.
Yeah, because it's a nice.
But the crazy
with your frame, there's a lot of creases and cuts in there. So I lube it just enough, but a lot of your contact points are gonna be here on your slides, and this part gets real dirty. So I just kind of went over that with a toothbrush. Material, the polymer, this part here. Mm-hmm. Smith&Wesson stippled, so you got a more aggressive texture. Glock usually keep theirs simple, but you can go to a professional Georgia Firing Line, anywhere, any of those places up in Marietta. They'll do your stipling job. There's some at-home people who do good stipling jobs. You're going to pay for it, but to give you that real texture. Okay. Like, I like this feel better than that. This is too smooth. Some people when they shoot, they hand sweat, so they need this texture. Or you can just order... there's a few companies, but the one I'm familiar with is Talon Grips. And it's a mold to fit your specific model. And you just lay it over, heat it on, it's an adhesive, and it's like a...
Oh, wow, it stays on it. Oh, wow.
Man, that's nice. The only thing is, if you carry that shit will scratch your ass up, cut your clothes up. Yeah, I mean, it's a nice grip. It's a nice grip. It's like this on steroid. But it's legit, though. I would definitely recommend it. Glock 43X. It's my go-to, my EDC. A lot of my family members EDC. That's just
perfect, and it can just fit in my pants, bro.
Pocket
right next to my wallet.
Well, you should check out the 43 because that has a shorter. You got bigger hands, but it has a shorter stock. And so the only difference is it'll be a smaller grip.
Tested at the front door.
Shit look clean.
So you slide.
You can see that shit good.
Everybody get your paperwork. Go to your probate court, get your carry license. But not that it matters really now, but you pretty much straight on this. So what I'm gonna do now is main contact points on the firearm. We're gonna lubricate, but just a little. You don't want so much to where it's overkill. You don't want it dripping all day. But I'll just take a little. Take a Q-tip normally. Run it across the top. Don't really need none on the slide. You can do a little bit here, but that's the same contact points. She gonna feel different, I'll tell you that. Assemble the gun back together. That's a whole nother video. When you get your own gun, you figure it out. You open the manual, you open YouTube, and learn your weapon. Learn what you're dealing with. Don't buy one and throw the box away and then be looking like a clown. Keep your serial numbers, people.
Yes.
Come up with a system or code or wherever you like to put other personal documents and have a list
of all your serial numbers.
Yeah. Some people may not be a fan of that because
Somebody find it, right?
certain organizations know your whole inventory list, but
If they see, they catch your list, right?
yeah, but at the same time, if your firearm were to be stolen,
You got your
you can't report it stolen without a
proper serial
yes.
number.
What they know? What they gonna? You know how many stolen guns are out there? Firearm is clear. I'm gonna let you feel.
That
Tell
bitch
me if
is
it feel like
dripping.
day one. It should feel damn near brand
It
new.
feel like
Butter.
yes.
Butter.
Wow.
I'm gonna start on this glass.